Ladies and gentlemen, we got your Sunday bets today, your best bets that we like here at the Lock It In crew. Hey, Sunday recovery. Saturday, huge, massive slate, bunch of disappointment, but we're here to recover and we're here to get it back. Let's get it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on into Lock It In here on the Rec Room Sports Hub. My name's Senator Dawson. Joining me, of course, is Alan Perales and Scott Cobe. Guys, what's up?
The Celtics just traded Jason Tatum to the Lakers for LeBron James. So welcome LeBron to Boston.
Lakers have a new future. New future.
5 a.m. Come on in. Come on in, LeBron.
In a couple of years, he's going to be going to Atlanta.
The Hawks. Yeah, to the Braves. Yeah,
the Braves.
It's I don't know. Yesterday's day of betting was not great for us. Well, it got better for me because Syracuse, lacrosse, and
personally, like it's not as bad as it was for the group. Like I still had a down day, but for the group though, like we're down 8 units after yesterday, so. It was a rough day. It was
NFL come back, please.
Damn you, McNeese.
Right. McNeese, Kentucky, Kansas, bastards. Who else do we have here? When we had a bunch, Marquette.
Damn you, Marquette.
Wild,
too.
Calgary, Spurs ended up covering, right? No, they blew it. They blew it late. That's right, because the Heat walked off with it in the end. That's right. Our totals for the NBA didn't hit. Our player props did really well, though, guys. We did do well on player props, and we are just short of being even there. So, like, we were definitely been better there. But yeah, overall, it ain't pretty. Now it's recovery Sunday. Now it's recovery day. We're going to chip into this 8 unit.
I was going to say, I did get Texas Tech, did get Oklahoma, did get OKC last night. So,
yep. I had San Francisco on mine. I liked, that's the wrong sheet. There it is. I had San Francisco on mine. Get it. The Florida puck line right away in the morning. Thought we were going to have something. LaFerry and Draisaitl both hit. Kessler hit. Outside of that, really what? Tech hit, Toronto hit, or not Toronto. Yeah, Toronto hit, Lakers hit, spread, Oklahoma. You got to be happy about that one. The first goal in 10 minutes barely hit, but it hit. Scott, good call on that. Panthers money line. That, and then Malik Monk hit, no Sabonis. So, we had a pretty good day though for player props wise, at least. So I don't know. This is the game we play, and that when it's a massive slate, it's hard not to bet everything you want to bet. So
can the NFL play a game today so we can bet on it, please? We seem to have much more success betting on NFL. Let's make
it sure seems like it. And let me click football real quick. Now we're still down $10 off of that last weekend.
also, congratulations to our Royal Rumble winners last night. Charlotte Flair coming back and Jey Uso. Jey Uso definitely deserved it. Charlotte got a lot.
How did Jey Uso win?
Both of them got a lot of hate for winning that match.
So we said it on the show last night, Tanu. I seem to believe that Cena was told he was going to win it, and then said to Triple H or whoever, Nick Khan or whoever, it's not my time. Let's give one of the younger guys the win, and let's let him go on a streak here. Let's strap the rocket to him. So,
yeah.
And then, of course, he then said he's going to be in the Elimination Chamber match and all that good stuff, which means he's probably facing Cody at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Gotcha. Still more to come there for sure. But hey, let's talk real quick before we get into our bets today. Let's talk about this massive trade, because why not? We got to bring this sucker up. Basically, Luka for AD. Lakers, Mavericks, huge deal late last night. And by the way, I don't know if you guys remember ever AD on an interview. I think it was Jimmy Kimmel or I don't remember who it was. Some late talk. He always states his height at like 6'8", no matter if he's taller or shorter or whatever. Because he doesn't want to play the 5. He doesn't want to play center. He wants to play power forward. Mavs GM Nico Harrison on playing Anthony Davis at the 4 alongside Daniel Gafford or Derek Lively. The second, he says, Anthony's probably going to finish games at the 5, but you're going to see these guys play together. And when the Lakers won, he played the 4. Okay. So why are you playing on the 5?
So
do they know what they're doing yet down there in Mavs world?
So first of all, I think OKC just I don't want to say got handed the West, but they're in a prime position now to win the West and go to the NBA Finals.
If you're OKC, Houston, or Memphis, you're loving this right
now.
Oh,
absolutely, no question. Anthony Davis.
You basically have no competition other than the three of you, and then maybe one other team.
So Anthony Davis and LeBron went to management and said, we think we're one piece away from winning the title. So what do? You trade one of the 2 guys that came to you and said, we're one piece away. And now Luka is.
Lakers have no backcourt. They have no backcourt now.
No. It's just Anthony Davis and LeBron together were a formidable tandem. And now that's gone. And LeBron wants to play with Luka, and that's has been his dream. That's what Windhorst said last night.
It sounded like LeBron had no idea about this.
No one.
LeBron had no idea. Anthony Davis had no idea. And what I read this morning is Luka's still stunned by the trade. So Luka had no idea.
This was literally done by both GMs. Not even the owners knew. Both GMs just kind of did this in closing. Like,
oh, you mean they ran their own franchises without player input? Get out of here! Well, it's in the NBA. This is fake.
I did read something. I don't know whether Windhorst said it last night or somebody said it, that LeBron last year was frustrated with AD on certain things he was doing on the court. Now, I don't think he was
frustrated with AD, but he's also loves AD.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the reaction, of course, was like, from Luka's perspective, is like the Mavericks must really hate Luka Doncic.
They didn't want to pay him. What they said in this rec room chat last night, I believe, is true. They didn't want to pay him $345 million for a supermax deal.
That's the biggest report in the end. It's the money. Yeah. It's the money that was coming up in a year and a half. They did not want to pay.
They think
so if you're Dallas, you have 3 aging players for at least a year or 2. That's not going to help you any better. You at the very least with the Lakers, you have somebody you can build that franchise around once LeBron leaves. But for the most,
Luka's staying? I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is Luka actually going to stay with the Lakers though?
Yeah, if they pay, he'll stay. But
the Lakers, and I hate saying this because this just irks my stomach saying it. The Lakers are the Cowboys. They have all this money in their back pocket, but they don't know how to properly spend it. They don't know how to properly spend it. They don't know. Basically the Yankees and Cowboys. You have all this money in your back pocket, and you have no idea how to spend it properly. You know, Jerry for the last few years has not spent that much in free agency. He's done all his maneuvering in the draft. Whereas the Lakers, you're bringing in aging players you got Anthony Davis at the peak of his prime, pretty much. You've got LeBron James, who's on the back half of his career. You got a couple other pieces, but they've won you one championship in a shortened season in a bubble because of COVID. And you haven't been back to the final since.
But here's what I'll say about the trade: the Lakers have no bigs now, 0 bigs.
No. Hey, 0. What team? May I ask you what team does this Lakers move remind you of? That's currently in the NBA that has 2, 3, sometimes 3 superstars, but always falls out of the playoffs when it really needs to happen in a long series. What team does that stay? Do you know who that is? Nope.
It's
the Phoenix damn Suns. It's the same model they're doing right there. There's no bench depth. They got nobody down low, and you have 3 superstars. Beal's kind of falling off.
You have no point guard. You have no point guard if you're Phoenix. You have no point guard.
You have nobody. You have nobody. Like you have 3 guys. Maybe you get that one guy. You get off the bench that actually performs, and then you trade him to the Nets. This is the same damn thing we see from Phoenix Suns. Year in, year out, they go get the guys. They have big names, but they don't have nothing behind them. This is the Lakers.
And people are always questioning, and I see this all the time. People are like, why is Memphis better than us? Why is Oklahoma City better than us? How is Houston better than us? They're better run organizations right now. They're building their teams. They're building mostly their teams through draft picking and in-house.
I would push back on Memphis being a well-run organization. I don't think they are. I think they're just catching lightning in a bottle this year, and they played really, really well. But here,
Houston, OKC for sure.
I wouldn't even say Houston either. I think Houston's just got a great mix of young talent right now, and
I don't know. I mean, they got the right head coach. I can tell you that much. Definitely be in there.
All the pieces are in place, basically.
The 2 things I'll say about this trade is, one, now LeBron and Luka have to score 80 points every game for them to win consistently. Number 1, 70 to 80 points a game. Number 2, there's only one team OKC had trouble with in the West, and that was Dallas. And now Luka is gone, and Anthony Davis comes in. I think it changes the dynamic in Dallas, where Kyrie's going to take 35 shots every game, and Anthony Davis is going to pick up some scraps. Because I think Kyrie's going to say, "Now I'm the guy. I'm going to shoot the ball," and that's going to be to the detriment of the Mavericks. So OKC's got this all lined up now. I bet them last night. They were plus 110 to win the West. As soon as this trade went down, I bet OKC to win the West because I think they will. So
insane, guys. All right, let's get into it.
Plus you pulled it, as we said before the show. You pulled the trade at almost midnight Eastern time last night. Are you trying to hide it from something? What are you trying to hide it from?
That's kind of what they were doing. That's kind of what they were doing. And who knows? I mean, it's also
trying to keep people up at night is what they're trying to do.
Well, West Coast was 9:00, so Lakers are just that.
They're literally like, guess what? Y'all ain't sleeping tonight because you're gonna have to ponder this for a couple hours before you actually try to go.
Yeah, that's still prime time for LA. So in that range, but yeah, wild trade last night. Totally unexpected. Very surprised in general. I think everybody is shocked. And then the reasoning coming out is even, what are you talking about? So, but anyways, we'll get into it, guys. We are going to get in some bets here. Not a very big slate today for anything that I noticed here. NCAA basketball, of course, being your biggest slate, but it is a fraction of what it was yesterday. NBA doesn't have a lot of games either. It's a pretty small slate there, and hockey might be your biggest slate from just a betting standpoint today, honestly. So, and we have games starting at noon Central here, so in 1 hour. So we're going to try to get you some of these noon game bets if we have them out there for you, so we can get you guys locked in and ready to go. So let's hit our first noon game here, and let's just talk hockey real quick here because do have a noon game. We have New Jersey and Buffalo there in the slate here. We got some good matchups again. Back-to-backs are throwing out there. Is there, guys, for NHL, what plays do you guys have currently for NHL? Player props, game lines, whatever you got. Like, what are we looking here today?
So I like the Devils against the Sabres. We're getting into crunch time here in the NHL. We're getting into the point where teams that are up at the top need to win games. And Buffalo, other than beating the Bruins up pretty good, have really not played extremely well. So I think the Devils need to win the game. I think they need to keep the streak going. They're playing extremely well this year. So I took the Devils on the money line, and then the other one I did was Florida Panthers, Dallas Stars, money line parlay. And those are the 2 NHL bets I have. I'm looking at Pasternak over his shots again tonight.
It's if you look at here at the was it Dallas game? Was it the Dallas game? Columbus Dallas. Columbus has been under. Oh man, see now I'm gonna blow the number here. it's been the same. When they're on the road, their number line is, oh, go away, ads. Come on, give it to me here. So it's insane. Columbus is 30-21-1 on the over under for the season. But if you look at what they've done on the road, under that 3-2, 2-1. The 4-7 for Carolina was the highest one that they've had pretty much all year long, I feel like. But Toronto 5-1, 1-3. Right now the line, you can get the over under for 6. So look, it's not gonna be my lock in. But I at 6, I'd risk the push. Yeah. And now Dallas, on the other hand, they're 5-3, 4-3. They score, right? And they allow a lot of goals. You should get the ones here in the goalies today, but like I'm not. If you can get on the 6, which I couldn't tell you what book because apparently it's not updating for me, but there was a 6 this morning for total. Oh, there it is. Caesars has 6. So if you get that under 6. Maybe you throw a little bit of money on it for it. That'd be my only true game line bet that I have today. I have player props for you, but that's kind of what I like there from a game line standpoint. And then you said, who was your player prop? Like, what was the player prop that you mentioned?
I'm looking at Pasternak over shots. The Bruins have to win. They just have to win as many games as they can here. They haven't played really well lately. They won 1 of their last 3. They get pounded against Winnipeg and Buffalo. So Pasternak is the leader of that team. He's going to have to take this on his shoulders for them to get in the playoffs. So I think you're going to see Pasternak raise his game a notch or 2. So I'm looking at that. I know it's I think it's a back-to-back. I think they're playing today. I'm not sure.
I don't see Boston out here.
Maybe they're not playing. Maybe I was looking at tomorrow.
Boston doesn't play till Tuesday against the Wild.
Okay. So maybe I was looking at another game, but
you're good. I was looking for it. I'm like, I don't see them on the list.
I got a lot of bets going through my head right now that I've written down. So yeah, I think the superstars on these teams that are struggling around the 500 mark have to start stepping up for their teams to make the playoffs.
Well, your Golden Knights, right? Your Golden Knights have to start stepping up. Both New York teams have to start stepping up. Like there's playoff spots out there that are going to start disappearing very soon here. I mean, we're entering February here now. We're already in Feb. Like,
yeah, you're looking at April.
March and April are going to become very tight for some of these teams, and it's going to cost them. So I'm right there with you.
And the one last thing I'll tell you about how I bet NHL is if I see a 5.5, I usually go over. If I see anything higher, I'll usually go under.
So are you taking this 6.5 and Montreal Anaheim on the under and 6.5 on Golden Knights and Rangers on the under today?
I'm taking on the under, yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Double trade. Yeah, they're coming in from Vegas. I know the game's at 6:10. But you're coming in from Vegas, West Coast to East Coast, basically.
Yeah.
So your legs aren't gonna be there in the first period and a half of the game.
It's true.
So
that's true.
Yeah.
Because you're basically playing at like 3:00 your time, anyways. So.
Yeah. And the Rangers have to win games here, as you just said. They're struggling right now. They're not playing great hockey. So they're gonna play a very tight. To the vest, they get up 2-0 something. They might just shut it down on offense and play defense. So
right, yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. Alan, do you have any hockey plays that you can think of right now? No locks. We're not locking it in yet, but just in general, conversation wise.
Yeah, Scott, I'm actually going the opposite. I'm saying Vegas. I'm taking Vegas on the money line because I think, like you said, Rangers are not playing as well. But Vegas. Looking at their record, they are 12-9-3 on the road, so there is cause for worse for wear there. But the Rangers, like you said, they're struggling, and I think instead of it being a slow game, I think Vegas gets off to a hard start, and the Rangers have to play catch up the entire way, which is not. It's not that's not the style of play that they're used to playing. So I think Vegas is going to handle that there. I also like the Avalanche money line as well at home against the Flyers. So. Those two, and then I also agree with you on Dallas as well.
Gotcha. No, it's like I said. I think there's some good lines out there. I wouldn't be surprised to see Utah win tonight either. Calgary on a back-to-back here. I could see a puck line for Seattle tonight. That's 8:00 game Central, 9:00 Eastern. I could see Calgary after playing last night and losing, having to go to Seattle, and I mean, I take a puck line right there, -1.5 or +164 in that range. So just from a little game lines here. Look, we got some good player props as well that we can throw out. That we will. We'll throw. I'm sure we'll throw out a couple here in this ranks. Who's texting me? Oh, my brother. I was looking too for today's games and just checking like shots on goals and opportunities here. We got a lot of guys, like Tage and Robert Thomas and Tuck out here, Sider, Suzuki. Like, we got opportunities here to see some shots on goals. But like points might be tough. Points actually look pretty favorable for some of these matchups. But our goalies, we only got one announced right now, and that's Merziklin's. I can't say his freaking name. But that is who is that for? Where you at? Columbus. Columbus has their only goalie out right now, at least official. And that's a 26.5 point, or it's 26.5 line of saves. He's only, let's see here. I'll pull it up. Sorry, guys. I thought I had it up. Let's pull this up. Let you guys see what I see. So this is our only goalie officially announced right now. This is his last 10 in this ranks here. So he's come close to it. It might be a perfect line, honestly, in the end, 26.5. If we look head to head, though, these are back in 2023, so they haven't played yet today. But you got one of the better defenses or better teams that shots on goals, so they might shoot a bunch. This actually might be an overplay for saves today.
Yeah, plus the game's in Dallas, so that would lend to a little bit more shots for Dallas than if they were on the road. So yeah, I kind of like the over on his saves.
I kind of do too, and like I'm just looking here, goals allowed, like not very high, but his saves percentage last game especially, like 96, right there. He seemed, seems like he's got a good range, so that might be play.
26.5 saves. If Dallas gets 31 shots, he's probably going to get 27 saves, I would think. I don't think Dallas is going to score 5 or 6 goals today. I think they're going to be in the 3 or 4 range, which means all Dallas needs to do for us to hit this is get 31 shots, and they hit. And I think they will at home. So
I think they'll shoot a bunch too. I really do. I really do. Yeah. So that's just one guy I was looking here as I kind of browse here and just check out what the lines are and projections for this site particularly, just to get an idea of like your ranks, your last 5. I'm looking for a lot of green, like the points part. I thought was pretty interesting here. We had a lot of green, lots of like Wyatt and Jason Robinson has a chance here.
The first 2 that you pulled up on that, Tanner, after the goalie, Jack Hughes was at the top of each of those first 2. His shots is 3.5.
Oh, Jack the shots Hughes on goal?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right there in projections.
Right there. Yeah. I like Jack Hughes to go over 3.5 shots today. Again, New Jersey's in a race for the 2, 3, 4 seed. They're within striking distance to get to the 2 seed. So,
and Buffalo's one of the worst in the league of allowing those shots on goal with the defensive side.
In the last 2 years, I picked on Buffalo a lot when I make my NHL shots on goal props because they just give up a lot of shots.
Yeah, so he's coming off 6 shot. 12, 6, 4, 7. His shots missed here or there, but block shots, he had 3 alone. Last game. So minutes are high. Yeah, I could see that as well.
Yeah,
in that rank.
So again, when you're betting, for everybody that watches this show either now or later, look at the superstars on these teams and look at the standings before you make the wages. Because if you do, New Jersey needs to win the game. The Rangers need to win the game.
And they're going to be shooting. They're going to be shooting.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Absolutely. So the Vegas Rangers game might be a close game. It's a back and forth. So watch the first 10 minutes again. See what's going on. If the Rangers jump out early, live game bet is the way to go with that. So,
all right, guys, we'll keep her moving here. Let's go ahead and lock in our hockey bets here for the day. Make sure everybody, because we got to get to college basketball for these noon slate games here. You know what, Alan, I'll go and start with you, man. What do you got for your locks?
Well, to kind of piggyback off Scott, two of the locks will come from the Rangers in Vegas game. Rangers shots on goal over, I believe, because like Scott said, they're in desperation mode right now, and they need to start winning games here late in the season to try and make a push for the playoff spot. But I also like Vegas on the money line, so I'll go Vegas on the money line as well with that. And then the last one is going to be Colorado money line.
Money line. All right, Scott, what do you like?
I like the Devils on the money line over the Sabres. I think it's minus 142, so that's not so bad. Jack Hughes in that game over 3.5 shots. I talked myself into it as we were talking it through. And then the parlay, Florida Panthers, Dallas Stars, and that's minus 109. So
parlay
money line. Yep,
gotcha. All right, let me pull mine up here. What I like here. All right, so from a hockey standpoint here, I like. I'll even show on the screen for you guys so you guys can see. Sorry, let me maneuver my stuff up here. Boom. So I like. We're gonna go Robert Thomas. We're going to take his, what I put here. I never remember. Shots on goal. So I like his shots on goal being over 1.5 in this one here. And you can get that current. I got this on DraftKings at minus 182. I like Tage Thompson.
Robert Thomas, is that the guy that chimes in the chat in the LTS show? He's playing with St. Louis.
Yeah, that guy, or the senior himself. So you got him as well. Yeah. I like Tage Thompson over the 2.5 goals, shots on goal for him as well. You can see that 5-6 generally has a pretty big game, and somebody's got to shoot for them here in this ranks here. Last time they met, he had a 3 and a 3. Last 5, he's been around. I like what I've seen on this guy from a standpoint 2.5. I don't mind the 2.5 from that standpoint. So in the over in the sports books ranks, like him as well. So they're baiting you on the under. So go for that on the over. And then finally, back to Jack Hughes for us here, but I like the under 0.5 assist. He might have hit the last 2 games here, but I don't think he gets it this game here. There's something about it here where it's being consecutive in a row. He's hit 2 in a row here. You're bound to have the fall off. He doesn't generally hit this 3-4 game streak on the assist, and I think Buffalo's going to give him a hard time. He's going to get the shots off like Scott has, but I don't think he gets the assists there. So I'll take that as a juicy minus 105 there on that. So that is the bets I like here, and generally the player props have been a lot sweeter to us. So that's what we're locked in there. Let's move on to our next round here. We'll pop into. I didn't even put our banners up, guys. My bad. Let's move into the NCAA bets here. We do have a few games at noon. Fairfield and Iona and Ohio State and Illinois in this ranks here, but. What from a college basketball slate in general are you guys looking at, and what do you like?
Go ahead, Alan. You can go first.
Let me get to the whole Division I slate here.
Oh, it's a big slate.
Yeah, because if you're looking at just the top 25, you only got 3 top 25 games today, which that's not. That's about.
Yeah, I tell you, everybody played yesterday. I felt like.
Yeah, good chunk of them. Let's see. There was one I liked that I saw earlier, but I can't find it right now. Where is? I like Robert Morris plus 3.5 over Wright State.
I looked at that one yesterday. I really did.
Interesting one.
Let me pull it up here. We can look here together at this Robert Morris. So this one intrigued me as well initially, and then I kind of shied away from it. Let me pop up here at my screen. You guys can see what I see here when I'm talking about it all, because I think it helps. So I looked at it here, right? So Robert Morris, 16-5 against the spread, 11-9-1 for Wright State. And if you look here at the last 10, like Robert Morris only won by 2 points back on January 12th. Robert Morris out here, last 10, they're 8-2. IUPU, like they're on a huge streak, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 game win streak here. And then Wright State, on the other hand, are also, they're 4-5-1, but they're not losing games they're not getting dominated, right? It's the biggest thing. They're not getting dominated. And Robert Morris isn't generally dominating teams. So to me, it was a lot closer. Like this 3.5 point spread. Like if it was a +6, yeah, I probably would have dabbled on it. But the fact that we're at 3.5 is why I'm kind of shy away. I kind of shy away because of that lower amount, because they can win by 4, they can win by 5.
But my question would be, how is Wright? Hey, what's up, Bobby?
Yes,
I do have a Cavs play coming. How is Wright State favored? Robert Morris is on the 60th. There's something that we don't know that somebody knows is the reason why Wright State's favored.
And I was trying to figure that out too. Like they lost to Youngstown. Robert Morris beat Youngstown, but only by 2. I want to say it has to be some. I mean, I feel like
they probably think the revenge game, maybe.
Maybe I feel like maybe it's more. They're considering it more even than what it should be. So they're getting the home team 3 points favored. That's the only thing that I can think of. That they're only really 0.5 favorites at this point.
Yeah, because again, Robert Morris has won 6 straight, and Wright State is just they're kind of middling right now. So that always scares me off. That always scares me off.
And they're, like I said, if you look at the scores here, they're not blowing teams out. Their biggest blowout is Green Bay, against nobody you, as they do it all the time. And that was your biggest one. I guess IUP, my bad. I skipped that one. But yeah, it's still like this game. I mean, you could definitely dabble in it. It's a good matchup to bring up, Alan. It really is, because it's. I feel like it's almost a trap in a way. I really do.
It's almost it kind of almost is, but I see Robert Morris. They played better, despite the fact that they've been in close games, and I think my mind is telling me take the plus with that, because
look at all these
a team that usually plays through adversity, the better team usually wins in the end. So, we do see crazy upsets at times, especially from teams on the road. But
look at all these stats, guys. Robert Morris, 16-5 against the spread, 14-7 over under. Wright State, 11-9 against the spread?
11-9-1. Yep.
And Robert Morris is underdog.
But look at this here. 5-4 on away games, and I think that's the number versus the 7-3 at home for Wright State. That might be part of why we're looking at a 0.5 favorite for Wright State. It's because Robert Morris apparently can't play on the road very well. And if we look at the road games too, Youngstown 72-70 win, 2-point win, 81-79 win against Milwaukee on the road.
Technically, all they have to do is win for it to hit, right? They would have to win, because that would
you can throw the money line down in that ranks.
But they're expecting Wright State to actually win this game, which is
and their offensive ranks here are pretty similar, outside of field goal attempts, but they're not far from ranks, at least wise, in most categories between them both. So like Ohio State's offense, like 25th best. There you go. 25th best in field goal percentage, 49th in field goals made. And so that could be coming into consideration, guys. It's a scary one. I mean, yeah, I ride with the hot team. I mean, if you guys ever go to casino and you're with JG, you ride the hot hand. So that's just what it is. So yeah, I mean, it's very possible there. So I like this. I like that you brought this up though, because it was one that intrigued me. But after looking deeper into it, there was just enough red flags for me. It pulled me off.
If you're intent on betting this, wait until the second TV timeout. See how the game's going. If one team is up by 8-12, then maybe throw a little pizza money on that team to win the game on the money line.
Like that, yeah. Otherwise, I like that.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'd stay away from it because I'm just really unsure what's going on in that game. So, but it's a great game to bring up, Alan.
No, it really is, because it was a very intriguing one for me as well. What else we got, guys? I know smaller schools, but
I like Illinois today. I think Illinois needs to win the game. NCAA tournament bids, seeding wise, is going to start taking shape here pretty soon. We're into February. Illinois, who was a great team last year, but lost guys to graduation. Ohio State's been so inconsistent this year. Illinois is at home. It's not a huge spread. It's 5.5 right now. Maybe it's gone up to 6.5. I got it at 5.5. I like Illinois today to win the game.
This is one of your new games.
It's 5.5 on ESPN bet.
Yeah,
still 5.5 on ESPN bet.
Yeah. Ohio State beat Purdue. Great win for them. Get it. Otherwise, they've been really inconsistent this year. So I like Illinois. And Illinois needs to win these games now. They're top 20 in the country. They don't want to slip to a 6 or 7 seed. They'd like to stay in the 3-4 line someplace.
That's a reason why I like another team, but we'll get to that.
One of my biggest issues with this game here is look what they've done the last 5. They have not looked good. They have not done well. Illinois Nebraska fallout, your Maryland fallout, Michigan State, you would end up losing. I think late. I believe that was the case. You dominate Indiana, but Indiana sucks anyways. But like you can't finish out games. This isn't a team that's known to finish out games. Ohio State, another hot hand in the play, and I've bet them all 3 of these games, and they've come through. They come through for me. And you're telling me you're going to give me 6.5 points, and you think Illinois is going to blow out Ohio State, kind of thing. At Penn State, they blew them out. Iowa, they blew them out. Purdue, they ended up finishing out and winning. Like, they had a bad stretch. Yeah, it was a rough stretch. I get it. It's what happens. But this Ohio State team, I think, is starting to figure stuff out in this ranks here. So, like, for me, Illinois might win the game. I think Ohio State makes it close, in a range, especially that 13-8 against the spread. They're covering games, guys. They're covering games, and they're covering as dogs.
13-8 record, 13-8 against the spread. So that every game is
they're in it.
Yeah.
I mean, and we look here. The only time they're really losing, it's when they're favored. You were favored against Indiana for -8, and you lost by 1. 2.5, -5, -2.5, -18. You finally won, but all the games they were dogs, they've covered so far in the last 10.
Who's their next 3? Go down a little bit. Who's their next 3 games? Maryland, Nebraska, Washington. They can win those 3. Oh, they can win those next 3 games.
Yeah, and I'll be watching for it too. So
today, if they win today, I'm on Ohio State for at least the next 3 games. I think. In
Illinois, we can look at their next 3: Rutgers, Minnesota, UCLA.
They can beat all 3 of those teams too.
Come on. I mean, these are going to be higher. Yeah, they're going to be definitely in a higher range for spread total. So, honestly, for me, I'm probably skipping out on the Ohio State game. I'm skipping out Illinois beating them, and I'm probably going to go Ohio State on the spread. To be honest with you, so that's but yeah, no, this game here is very. It's going to be a close one. It's going to be a fun one at noon.
I was playing around with 2 bets with Illinois. One was Illinois money line and Oregon money line, parlaying that together. And then the other one was the spread. So I think I might go the Illinois-Oregon money line way today instead of the spread.
I mean, let's pop down to that game. Let's talk about the Oregon game here, Nebraska, Oregon. I mean, you're talking about a Nebraska team too that you never know what you're going to get on that court. You don't. They're 11-10. Went against the spread versus 9-12-0 for Oregon. But at the same time, plus 6.5. If we look here, Nebraska, they out here, beat Illinois, lost horrendously to Wisconsin, lost to USC pretty close. But like they're covering games they shouldn't cover, and they're losing games they're better than that. So in that ranks, Oregon on the other hand got destroyed by UCLA. Minnesota, they lost. It wasn't. I don't think that generally game was close if I remember right. So you're looking here 3-7 in the last to covering your spreads here, and you were favored in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. You were favored, very small amounts outside of the Weber, of course, but you're not covering these games. And Washington, I guess you're -13. Like this Oregon team is not as impressive as some people were saying at the beginning of the year.
Right. So I'm going money line. I'm going to do the Illinois-Oregon money line parlay. I just think the cross-country travel with Nebraska is not as good as their record indicates.
2-5 on the road. Yeah.
2-5 on the road across the country. Oregon, again, another team, needs to win the game for seeding. They can't lose these games. They lost to UCLA twice this year. Those aren't good losses. Those are awful losses. So I think Oregon bounces back in a big way today. I think they win the game. I wouldn't take them on the spread. I would just take them on the money line and go that way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind that here.
I was gonna say the team I'm gonna bring up that's in that same boat is West Virginia right now.
Yeah,
they're on the road in Cincinnati, a team that hasn't been great in the Big 12 play this year. West Virginia's 4-5 in conference play, but you do have some key victories for you that can help with that. The thing that hurt West Virginia last night was that the top 3 teams lost. The top 3 teams losing really hurt West Virginia in their tournament chances. So now they need to do a little bit more. So they're 5.5-point underdog today. I'd like them to cover that because I think they're going to be in full desperation mode now to try to sneak into the turn. They could be a bubble team here in a couple weeks if they're not careful.
Can finish games. You're not even coming close in the second half of the last 3 games, I feel. Or maybe Arizona State. But Nick, K-State has you beat the entire game. Houston, we all know what Houston can do, so that's not a surprise there. But, we look – I don't know, man. Cincinnati, too, they're not impressive. They're not impressive at all. And yet they're out here being favored by 5.5 points. That's insane.
Yeah. I really like West Virginia today.
The one thing I would look at on this game is the under. Cincinnati's an under team this year.
1-9, last stand.
Yeah, I would definitely look at the under in this game. I think this is going to be
126.5. That's a low number.
Yeah, remember Tennessee and Florida yesterday? I'm looking at the game being sort of like that today. Not the score-wise, but 59-53, something like that. Because Cincinnati is just
you're right.
They don't score.
Houston, West Virginia was under 123.5.
Yeah.
So, you could be right on this one. 126.5 might be an under game. I'm looking here too, real quick. 127 on DraftKings. Just so you can get a half point up, guys.
Granted, I agree with you, Tim. It's a low number, but Cincinnati is just like they're 9-1 in the last 10 to the under. So that trend, I think that's a huge trend to look at for them going forward. Is too, they just can't score. Cincinnati can't score, and that's what I'm looking at. So
I'm with you guys. So interesting slate today for sure. That has transpired after yesterday's massive slate. So, but guys, let's go ahead and keep it moving here. Let's go ahead and lock in our bets here for the NCAA slate. So who started first? Alan started first. Scott, you start first this time.
So I just gave it out. Illinois, Oregon moneyline parlay. I like both teams to win, not so much to cover. West Virginia, Cincinnati under 127. I like that. And the third one is Evansville plus 11.5. I think the reason why this spread is so out of whack was because their leading scorer had been out. He has come back in the last 2 games. He's combined for 50 points. I think Evansville can keep it close, if not win the game. So I like them at the plus 11.5 to cover the spread. So I'll go that way.
All right, Alan.
All right. First and foremost, I like Oregon today on the money line. As Scott mentioned earlier, Oregon's in desperation mode, so I'll give it to them. I like Bradley University plus 1.5 against Northern Iowa today. Bradley's 18-4, 9-2 in the Missouri Valley Conference. They've been playing really good, although Northern Illinois is a pretty good team in conference play. It should be an interesting matchup between those two teams. And I like West Virginia plus 5.5 today against Cincinnati. West Virginia desperately needs to get a win today after what happened in the Big 12 yesterday. So I like West Virginia plus 5.5.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it, guys, at all. So I got 4 for you. I ended up writing down, so we'll give you 4. Ohio State plus 6.5. Love that bet, and that's what we're going with here. I think Ohio State covers again. They've won me money already, for 2 weeks now, so I might as well keep it up. So ride the hot hand. Ohio State plus 6.5. Mount St. Mary's money line. They are facing, if I remember right, I don't remember right. Oh, St. Peter's. And of course now there's no line for some sports books out here, but Mount St. Mary's money line, that was an interesting matchup here. Because Mount St. Mary's, again, similar to Robert Morris, had the bigger record.
St. Pete's favored. St. Pete's favored.
Yeah. They were favored last night too. So I'm taking the plus money at plus 154 is what I got it on DK last night. Quinnipiac minus 4.5. That team's dominating that conference. Dominating. It's scary to see something like that for them because I really anticipated other teams to dominate that, but no, Quinnipiac's dominating. They're going to get Siena on the road, so I'll take the minus 4.5 for them. And then finally, Tulsa and Tulane. I'm taking the over 142.5. Both teams seem to trend over when they play each other. So I'm based off head-to-head matchups here, and we're taking the over 142.5. Pretty low deal there. So that's what I got here, and that's, ladies and gentlemen, that is what we're locking in here. All right. Let's move on to the.
Can I give you one team to watch?
Yeah.
One team in the NCAAs to watch. St. Thomas of Minnesota.
Yep.
St. Thomas of Minnesota has been top 20 in offensive efficiency. Is throwing up a lot of points. I'm not betting them today. I'm watching the game. If they put up a lot of points, I'm going to lean toward going with their team totals over starting next game they play, going to the rest of the season. So they're just a watch for everybody. But they've been playing really well. They're 17-6 right now. They get in the NCAA tournament, they're going to cause some trouble for somebody. So,
good call. Good call on that St. Thomas one. That's another team to watch for later on. So,
yeah.
Let's move on to the NBA, guys. Again, not a very big slate here. We have our first game starts at 2 with Chicago and Detroit. Oh wow, let's get rid of that. Make sure we just get down. There he goes. So yeah, 5 games today. Last game's at 7:30. Usually it's like 9 my time, so 7:30, small slate. But we got some decent matchups, I'd say. Of course, Dallas and Cleveland being one, right in the smack dab in the middle of the day of the slate here. So, which I'm sure people are going to have bets on that. It's already up to minus 13 there for Cleveland on DK, so it continues to roll. But thoughts on NBA plays, guys?
I love the Pistons today. I love Detroit. Cade Cunningham fresh off a 40-point game. He's starting to turn the corner a little bit. They're starting to find a little bit of a rhythm in Detroit now. They're making a play to be not just a play-in team, but a potential playoff team in general. There's a couple guys in there that would probably send the other way. I think we talked about this on In the Hoop Friday, but I'm kind of liking what I'm seeing out of Detroit right now. I think Cade could have another big game tonight against a Chicago team that's still trying to find its footing in some ways with the core that they have. But I said this as a joke. The Pistons are basically the definition of equal. What is it? Perfectly balanced. They're the perfect definition of perfect, equally proportioned, because they're 24-24. They're 11-11 at home, 13-13 on the 13-13 on the road, 11-11 at home, and they're 5-5 in their last 10. That is funny. I don't care who you are. That's funny. They're Thanos' favorite team.
Same.
But I really do like Detroit because I think they're starting to figure it out with the guys that they have. Jaden Ivey's getting healthier too. So if he comes back, I think Detroit's going to be kind of they might be a small sleeper pick in the East. As far as maybe
which will be wild,
which is kind of even wild to say. Like you said, I think you'll see them maybe make one or two moves at the deadline to kind of shore up that team a little bit. But I kind of like where Detroit's headed right now.
Okay. What about you, Scott? Any matchups here or player props you want to look at?
I got 5 actually. I just wrote a couple down as we were talking. Dallas is at Cleveland today. Yeah. They just made this trade. I think these players are going to be shell-shocked today to play. It's at Cleveland. I think Cleveland covers that -13. I think Cleveland puts a hurting on Dallas today. I just think that I don't think Anthony Davis is going to be playing today. The trade just happened last night. He's going to fly from LA to Cleveland. I don't think he's getting there in time for the game. They're going to be shorthanded. If they're resting anybody of any note for Dallas, they're basically just giving the game up. So I like Cleveland a lot today. I think Cleveland can more than double cover this spread. I think they could win by close to 30. So
look at this here, right? If we look here at player props for points alone for this game, 1, 2, 3. There's only 3 guys currently available that you can really dig into and see where they're at from a point standpoint for this game.
Which means you're going to have 2 or 3 starters on the court for Dallas that just have not started before and not played major minutes. So, again, Cleveland's so talented. Yeah, and he's hurt too. So that's the other thing. And Luka was hurt too. So that's probably matches to the trade. The other game is I'm taking Philly +11. The Celtics just play with their food all year long. They're the 4th worst team against the spread in the NBA right now.
Yep.
No Embiid for Philly today, so everybody might be steered away from Philly. But Tyrese Maxey's been great. Yabusele, the kid they signed in free agency over the last offseason, has played really well lately. And the Celtics just tend to play with teams. Their regular season's just their preseason. So it's +11 right now for the Sixers. I would take +11. Celtics do not cover big numbers. They just don't. So I hate
it's not the first time. It's not the first time today that I've heard Philly +11. I can tell you that much. It's not the first time.
So I even could see a pathway that Philly wins the game if the Celtics just keep playing with their food, so to speak, and don't dial in the game. So and the Knicks are right behind them for the division.
The Cavs lose.
Scary white lady. me and Sam know exactly what that is. Alan, did you get the tweet last night?
Oh no, I was on Audible Friday night, and I got to meet the scary white lady in person.
Oh, okay, okay. So I like those.
That was great. That was great, though.
And then Yabusele's player prop is 12.5 points. He scored like 28 last game. He's going over.
Pull him up.
Maxey's 30.5.
Which player prop?
Yabusele.
Which over points?
Yep, over points, which is 12 and a half.
Yeah, you can see like his minutes and usage were up from last time, and he's gotten minutes before, obviously here, but like the 28, like you can see it really dipping up here. And if we throw it without, make sure he's out. Yeah, okay, yeah, officially out. Okay, so yeah, you're right on that one.
Tan, without Embiid, he becomes their second scorer for the Sixers. So now 12 and a half is awful low for him. I would have thought it would be like 15 and a half, but it's not.
Sports books out here are have the under. The under is the favorite. -120 at FanDuel, -121 Caesars. The only one that's for the under and points. The only one that has the over as favorite is DK at the moment.
Yeah. No, I would take the over. I would take the risk and gamble that he's gonna, for Philly to cover the spread and to win the game, he's gonna have to score around 20, I think. So
Yabusele. Okay, I'm writing that down for afterwards.
And then the other two props I looked at is Jaylen Brown over 1.5 threes in this game. The Celtics shoot a ton of threes. They just do. So he's going over. He's hitting about three a game, except for a couple of games where
I got 1.5.
Yeah, he's 1.5. But if you look at the thing, 3 of the last 4 times he's hit threes, he's hit 3.
So he's 3 points attempts, 9, 5, 9, 5, 6.
Yeah, so he's shooting 6. So all he's got to do is hit 2. So he should be able to hit 2. And then the last one I'm looking at is again, Cleveland on the side, but Donovan Mitchell over 3.5 threes. I know it's a lot of threes, but I just think Cleveland's going to have their way on offense. So,
well, this is one I was looking at as well from a 3-point percentage. I'm steering away just because of the threes ring, but yeah, that's one here too. I was like, maybe not, but 3-point. Now, here's 3-point breakdown.
If you want, this is what I'm playing with right now, because these games don't start until 3:00 Eastern, so you got time, a little bit of time. I'm thinking of alternate Donovan Mitchell's threes at 2.5 and Jaylen Brown over 1.5, and you'll lose a little bit of money, but you won't lose a lot, so that it'll dent you. So I'm looking at that too as maybe the alternate at 2.5 to have a safety net. So
I don't mind that at all.
I got another one for you, Tanner, if you want me to bring it up.
Yeah, what do you got?
I like Minnesota plus 3.5 today against Milwaukee, against the Bucks.
Make sure Anthony Edwards is playing.
Memphis.
But here's the Memphis.
Oh, Memphis.
I like Memphis. Memphis plus 3.5 over Milwaukee today. You look at the last 5 games for Milwaukee. They've lost 3 of their last 5 by double digits. 2 of those teams are good teams that are potential playoff teams, and the other is Portland. Sorry, Jay, but Portland's not that good. And then your 2 wins in that respective are a Miami team that doesn't have Jimmy Butler and is still trying to figure things out, and Utah, who's one of the worst teams in the NBA overall.
Alan, can I introduce you to Doc Rivers, who does this consistently
all the time? Looking at their schedule, Scott, throughout the season, they have not won games against good teams a majority of the time. Good teams have had Milwaukee's number all season long. For some reason, they can't beat good teams. They can't. Memphis is the 3rd best team in the West right now.
And to support Alan's point even more, look at their last 4 games. They were on a West Coast road trip. Usually when these teams come home the first game, they struggle after a road trip like that.
You know what's funny on this? I'm looking at this on ESPN. They have it at a -3.5 for Milwaukee, but the matchup predictor has the Grizzlies winning with a 72% chance to win this game.
Yeah, I actually like that.
I mean, closer to 50-50 money than what everybody thinks. It's 43% right now on the Grizz, so 57 on Milwaukee, and that's closest matchup of the day right now from just a betting standpoint. So,
but I really love Memphis in this spot right now.
Again,
because Jaw's getting healthier. He's starting to make more runs in the offense. Triple J has been great this season. He's an all-star.
Yeah.
He's been playing well. And again, like you said, with Doc Rivers and what the Bucks have done this year against good teams, they have not done well against good teams. Most of their losses against these good teams have been more by double digits. So I don't understand how they'd be favored at home in this regard. So definitely give me Memphis all day of the week.
And again, just like the Knicks, Memphis is on Houston's heels for that division lead.
Mm-hmm.
So Memphis has got to be dialed in. They do not want to slip to a 4 or a 5 or 6 seed in the West. They want to stay on the 2-3 line because you want to avoid OKC as long as you possibly can in the West. That's the team this year. So
and we'll have to keep an eye on Ja Morant news. Not that it seems to have bothered them too much.
Jaren Jackson, like I said, he's been playing great this year for them too. So
he has. He really has. I'm seeing here too. I got the notifications for Underdog NBA.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen nothing big come through yet for potential injuries. So so far so good on that.
Is Dylan Brooks on that team?
He's on Houston.
He's on Houston. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, the other thing I would look at now with Dylan Brooks in Houston is his threes. He's starting to hit massive amounts of threes right now. So there's another guy whose threes probably come out if they're 2.5.
Think about that guy. Let's take a look here. Let's pull up.
He had 10 threes. I don't think they're playing today.
No, but they're playing tomorrow.
Okay.
3 points. They don't have anybody out yet. So
okay. He hit 10 against the Celtics when they played up here. I think, and then he followed up with like a 5 or 6 spot.
That's a good matchup between those two, though. Houston and New York, Knicks and Rockets tomorrow. That's going to be a really good matchup.
It is.
Absolutely.
It really is. It's a good slate.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Oh,
guys.
and also keep in mind, you're going to like Milwaukee. You're going to like picking against Milwaukee in the next 2 days because not only did we say that they got Memphis at home coming off a road trip, they immediately have to go back on the road tomorrow and play Oklahoma City in Oklahoma City. So, yeah, good luck. Good luck, Milwaukee.
Well, that's
goes home, and they play San Antonio. So, yeah.
Yeah, that Houston, that Milwaukee OKC spread is going to be double digits tomorrow, for sure.
Yeah, it is.
OKC.
And Detroit has Atlanta at home.
Milwaukue, by the way, Milwaukee 9-13 on the road. Oklahoma City's 20-3 at home. So
Atlanta's the team that you want to play overs with because they score and they can't defend anybody.
Yeah.
So that's an over team.
Got Detroit tomorrow. Detroit back-to-back home games today and tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. Detroit, Kate Cunningham, you might want to. So,
yeah, they really do got Dallas and Lakers already out there for the line, don't they?
Yep. -5 or something for the Lakers, I think it is.
Yeah, -5. Yeah, 226.5 for the over/under.
Let's see if Anthony Davis and Luka are back. If they are, then
I'm not biting that bullet. I ain't putting money down now. Are you kidding me?
First game for Luka would be against the Clippers on Tuesday.
He's hurt.
Yeah,
I don't think.
Unless he's not.
He was due back before he's due back before the All-Star break. They were talking about him being back last week, and nothing ever came of it. So,
Mavericks first game potentially would be Tuesday.
Maybe this is why nothing came of it in the end. You know.
Yep.
It's wild. So, all right, guys, let's wrap this thing up here. Let's go ahead and lock in our NBA bets here for the day. Again, 3 to 5 bets. What do you got here, NBA wise? Alan, looks like we're starting with you, man.
Give me the Grizzlies +3.5 against the Bucks today. I am not trusting Doc Rivers against a good NBA team at all. It is not going to happen. I am also riding the same train that Scott is. Give me Cleveland -13.5. Dallas is in shambles right now. Nobody's going to want to play this game after what happened last night. So I definitely.
How about minus 13? I'll give you minus 13. How about we get rid of that half?
That's what I get.
Yeah. So nobody's going to want to play this game after what happened last night. And then I'll take Detroit money line against Chicago.
Okay, like it. Scott, what do you got, man?
I'm on Cleveland minus 13. I'm on the Sixers plus 11 against the Celtics, and then 3 player props. I'm on Yabusele over 12.5 points, Jaylen Brown over 1.5 threes, and Donovan Mitchell. I'm going to alternate to over 2.5 threes. So that's what I'm going to do.
Donovan Mitchell over 2.5 threes.
Yeah. You won't lose a lot of money if you parlay Brown and Mitchell together, which is something that I might do just to get plus money out of that.
I like it. All right. Here's what I got. It's all player props here for me. Malik Beasley over 18.5 points and rebounds today. Gary Trent Jr. assist over 0.5. He's hit that, I think, the last 4 or 5 games now. So I like that one. And then I got Tim Hardaway Jr. over 4.5 rebounds and assists. And AJ Green under, what was his? I did not write this down. I'm sorry. And give me a minute. AJ Green. We got the under 7.5 points and rebounds for him today as well, and that's a Milwaukee guy. So something about the streak that he does is very in and out, where I don't like where they're going against the Memphis defense. So that's what I got there, all in. So that's what we are locking in, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll wrap up the show. Scott, do you have any outside of the bets that we covered today?
No, I did not look at lacrosse bets today. And there's no tennis. There's no tennis tournaments right now. So keep in mind, golf, I might have a play next week because the Waste Management Super Bowl weekend is always a high-scoring tournament. So I might have a matchup or 2 Saturday to play. So
going on the over in ejections in the flag football game today.
Oh, jeez.
Not even watching it.
Nope. This is going to be the first weekend without football, and I kind of don't mind it, to be honest with you. So,
well, we got good stuff on TV, guys.
I get to get sleep today. Let's go.
Yeah, Alan.
Yeah, before Tanner gets all ramped up for next week.
That's right.
He's got some team is in
Monday morning, we start our week.
Super Bowl week.
Let's go. Tanner, are they flying out today? Is it today they fly out or tomorrow?
Yeah, because isn't it Radio Row all week? So they got to fly out.
Media night is tomorrow night, maybe?
Tomorrow night or Tuesday. So
yeah.
So you'll see them fly out today. Get ready, prepared. So do all the media stuff of things. So, but yeah, I'll be ready. I got to get out all my red stuff because it's Red Week. So, and then just get ready for the game, and go get my Venmo sent out to all the refs. Make sure they get it and make sure it goes through. That way we're all set for all the NFL Nation to get pissed about something. So,
I love how every other sports are calling out NFL refs.
You're the
legit.
Tanner, you're the one that causes the refs to make these calls.
Yeah, I am. Oh, I owe them a lot of money.
You think it wouldn't be the case since he's the biggest Florida State fan in the world, but
all right. In that case,
we might have some bets next. Thank
you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us today.
Great.
Let the power be handled. Guys, we're out of here. We'll be back next Saturday. Make sure you guys like, follow, subscribe on the Rec Room Sports Hub here. This is Lock It In. We'll be back Tuesday night on the Rec Room Weekly with Whit, Jay, and Jets Girl and everybody else. We'll be having a nice show there because I'm sure we'll be talking Super Bowl prep, and I'm sure I'm gonna get ticked. No, I won't be. I won't get ticked off. I won't be mad. Everybody else is gonna be upset that they have to talk Chiefs in general. So, but don't worry, I'll make sure to throw some facts out there for everybody ignoring what the Kansas City Chiefs are doing.
Cool, boy.
But we'll have more lock-in bets for the Super Bowl come Tuesday night.
Let's go Chiefs.
Truly. So stay tuned there. Come back Friday night for In the Hoop, and we'll be back Saturday and Sunday for Super Bowl weekend. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are out, and we'll catch you next time. See you. Bye.